Hi, everyone. Welcome to this Soul Companion episode. I'm so excited for you guys all to be here. When I was thinking to myself about how I wanted to kick off this podcast, I decided that the only logical conclusion after the foundation that I already established, obviously, with Roxy, the next step would be to introduce you to my pack because they are the reason that I am so in love with animals. There's a history that I've always had, but these animals right now are with me every single day. They're a huge part of my life. They're constantly teaching me lessons. They're showing me every single day how we can evolve this soul companion relationship with our animals. And it's just so beautiful. And I really want to share that with you all. So that way, when we're having conversations about your pets or someone else's pets, or even when we're talking about behaviors, that you kind of know who's at the center of my heart for me when it comes to animals currently. And you just get a feel for like who I have surrounding me, who's with me, day in, day out, and just my animals, my soul companions. And I do have a couple of different podcast episodes from my other podcast that features how each of the animals that we currently have come into our life. And I just feel like it's really important to share those with you because the stories of how each of our animals have come to us seem so spirit led. It's just the way things fell for each of three of them for sure were divinely guided. And I also feel like Kenzie was too. It was just so far before I was connected on this deep of a level. So I do admit that her episode seems more like just happenstance and almost like ease of just how things were. Maybe not as many sign following and stuff, but that just shows who I was back then versus who I am now. I probably did have so many different signs that I wasn't paying attention to, that I didn't even know to watch for. But I think the best way that I've decided to organize those, because I think there were two episodes specifically about Ella. There was one about embracing Ella, and then there was one about Ella and reincarnation, because I found out she was one of my other dogs that reincarnated with me from this current lifetime. And then there was an episode called Leap of Faith Puppies. And then there was an episode on my actual YouTube channel that was called Rounding Out the Pack, and that was about Kenzie. So I've decided the best way to reveal those to you is I'm going to put both of the Ella episodes together in one segment. And then I'm going to put the puppies and Rounding Out the Pack together in a segment. And if you feel like you are interested in more details about the four animals that I absolutely love and adore and who are in our life right now, feel free to check out those episodes. If you're not interested in my journey with finding them and adding them to my home, that's perfectly fine too. To me, it's so important to share our experiences because you just never know who else is going to resonate with them. And I do share that with every single one of them, we were questioning ourselves. Do we really want to do this? Are we really able to support this animal? Are we really able to dedicate the time necessary to give this animal the life that it deserves right here and right now? And I put that in there. I don't have the full episodes as they aired because that podcast is about unraveling your own limiting beliefs and connecting with spirit. And I felt like there were some things in there that may not be relevant to this podcast. But I did leave some of the going back and forth just because I want to show that even I want to weigh whether adding a new addition is really correct and right and feels good for the entire family because these are souls in these animal bodies. And if we can't give them the time, the love, and the attention and everything that they need to thrive, then we should not be adding more. We need to make sure that we can provide them with the best atmospheres possible for what they're needing and where we are in life. So I'm going to be posting those four combined into two episodes sometime here in July on the Souls Companion podcast. I want to introduce you to them now because they're special and I know that they are going to play a part in the Souls Companions podcast. The Soul Companions is a heart-centered podcast. Animals have always enhanced my life, and I feel honored to have the privilege to highlight how amazing they are. I feel that it's important to share the amazing souls that I am surrounded by each day so you know who I am thinking of and creating these episodes with. Our current dog pack consists of four beautiful souls. We have a 10-year-old Golden Retriever Walker Coonhound. Her name is Kenzie. We have a 5-year-old Morkie named Ella and a 3-year-old Morkie named Xavier and another 3-year-old Maltipoo named Willow. We love them all so much. Together, they make our life feel so much more full, more whole, and just more vibrant by adding their own brand of special into the family. When I think of Kenzie, I think of grounding, stability, consistency, joy, happiness, and her easygoing, friendly nature. She is the best friend of everyone that she meets. People can't help but be drawn in by her pure joy and happiness that oozes the moment they meet. We've had so many delivery drivers ask about her well-being when she can't be readily seen outside. She is one pack member that will happily run up to greet you, whether you have a scowl or a smile across your face. She's not one bit intimidated by the bad day you're wearing across your face or in the defeated set of your shoulders. That's why I find her so steady, so grounding and reliable. She's the one you can always count on to love you up no matter what. She'll greet you with a smile, a head nudge to pat her head, or an arm grab to your arm to keep you petting her. She truly is like the golden sun. Sun as in S-U-N. When I think of Ella, I think of nurturing, calm, strength, independence, confidence, and honestly, wisdom. She sees herself as the self-appointed mother of the pack. She's on high alert unless everyone is safely at home and accessible to her. She is happiest when everyone is all in the same room spending time together. Ella isn't the stereotypical dog. My husband often teases me by saying that she is more cat personality than a dog, because she doesn't always come when you call her over to your side of the couch. She takes your request into consideration, but ultimately chooses what is best for her. And I love this so much about Ella because it displays the growth at a soul level that she has made since our last incarnation together. When I was like in, I don't know, it was like second grade through seventh or something like that grade. She was my dog named Bootsy, which is going to be part of the episodes that I was talking about. Bootsy was a lot more like Kenzie's eager to please mentality. She'd do whatever I asked, whenever I asked. But Ella, this time around, feels safe and confident enough to say, no, that isn't the best place, situation, or thing for me right now. So I'm going to do what I feel is best and still be secure in the knowledge that you'll still love me regardless. She has absolutely no qualms about letting me know when she needs something or even when she thinks I am working too much. Recently, she's been coming into my room and waiting there until I leave to go hang out with her because it's done for the day. No more work, she says. Ella is our yin dog. When I think of Xavier, I think of action, curiosity, adoration, loyalty, strength, and a warrior. Zave acts first and thinks later. He is our action man. He loves to chase birds, squirrels, rabbits, really anything that catches his eye. Last week it was a grasshopper. He loves to explore the yard and unfortunately thinks that the best way to explore is to pass everything through his mouth. He's fiercely loyal to those he considers his people, and he will put his life at risk if he feels that they are in danger. Zave is always ready for an adventure. He loves to play and is always first in line to be my dancing partner whenever the mood strikes. Zave is our yang dog. I love dancing with him. I do. He just makes me smile. When I think of Willow, I think of curiosity, loyalty, sensitivity, intelligence, cleverness, and her uniqueness. None of us have ever had a dog quite like Willow. I don't know how to explain what it is about her that sets her apart, except to say that is so Will. From the way she sits to the way she expresses herself to us, none of us have ever experienced a dog quite like Willow. We know for as long as we live, this family will always make references to each other about that dog named Will and her silly antics. Willow is intelligent and curious, but she typically thinks before she acts, unlike her brother. That doesn't mean that it stopped her from locking herself into a closed room a time or two. She loves to push and tap objects to watch how her motion causes those objects to move. Willow is extremely sensitive to energies. When she sees you walking after a bad day, she's going to head for the hills. She's our family's physical representation of an emotional barometer. If Will's avoiding you or having accidents on your watch, then it's time for some self-reflection. On the other side of the coin, she is always the first dog to seek me out when I am meditating, performing energy healing on anyone, and especially loves to be around when the crystals come out for healings. Willow is our heart, and these are the 4 dogs that make up our current pack. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to meet my amazing team of soul companions. I know that we are all looking forward to sharing our lives with you, exploring the opportunities available to all of us as we walk with our soul companions in this very conscious way and intentionally trying to cultivate these deeper relationships with each other, helping each other grow and just being the best versions of ourselves. I really hope that you enjoyed learning about my pack. I'm really excited to explore the topics that Soul Companions is going to cover. And I can't wait to hear about all of your guys' packs and how you became who you became and how you guys help each other out to grow each day and just the different antics that they do. I love hearing about animals. I love how we just change each other's lives for the better or the worse, depending on who we are. But I'm thinking that the people that are going to be interested in my Soul Companions podcast are changing our lives for the better. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Soul Companions. I appreciate having you all here so much, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon. Bye.